How can I hold these men accountable? We all know the answer. I can't. Why? Because you are dealing with individuals who are looking for justification, not accountability.
Stuck in the struggle trying to gain, because I have a greater mission. I hope that you listen.
What's going on, everybody? Deacon here. By now, quite a few people have seen and got tired of the discourse surrounding the conversation concerning having children out of wedlock in the Black community. Whether it's discourse on various social media platforms or podcast interviews like with Dr. Bryant, with the Canon, Cam Newton, and most recently The Breakfast Club. This topic will never go away. Do you hear me? Never. Not unless you disengage from the conversation and leave the community entirely. Back in November of 2023, I made a video where I started out by asking this. How can I, a responsible man who's been married for 21 years, hold an irresponsible man who's already on his third baby mama accountable if an irresponsible woman is still going to give him access to her body? Now, at that time, I was going to focus primarily on those in the Black community because that's the community I'm a part of. Like all communities, each has their less than group of individuals. We know them as our Pookies, Ray Rays, Mink Mink, Man Man, Smurf, and their offspring Glock and Walmart Tavius. I'll get to them later. However, awareness has been raised that there's a new one who I call De Nick El Jefe. This is the guy who's amassed a plethora of riches and resources, but he too spreads his seed all over the place. Take your actors, your entertainers, which again leads to the question, how can I hold these men accountable? We all know the answer. I can't. Why? Because you are dealing with individuals who are looking for justification, not accountability. See, accountability is very uncomfortable because it requires admission that you could not reach or consistently maintain the standard that provides the best outcome. I mean, it's literally in the definition of the word. Another reason why is due to either being a product of, having produced, or have someone who you care about who fell beneath this standard regardless of the explanation as to why they missed the mark. We will have mercy for the exceptions, but for people doing whatever it is they want to do is a different story. Now, for me to hold anyone accountable, they must first see value in my lifestyle as something that they desire for their own life. Not exactly to be like me, but instead know that although what has become the exception and not the rule is still possible. However, let's be honest here. Why would a man that has no issues gaining access to women, even if they're low frequency, see value in what I have to say about building a healthy relationship, especially if he has no problem replacing said woman? Imagine I'm talking to Walmart Tavius or El Jefe, and he's at least entertaining what I have to say. So much so that he's even considering trying to build something with the most recent mother of his children, only to receive a text from a woman who he has been trying to gain access to for some time. I'll call her Bonnet Bay. And she's asking him to come over and clap those cheeks and to knock that bonnet off her head. Guess what he's gonna do? Make sure he gives her a standing ovation. Then whatever happens after that, so be it. You wanna know why? Here's my theory. Many believe that the bar for dating is in hell, or at least from what I've been told. However, when it comes to relationships, the bar is a little higher. That bar is co-parenting, because the most common theme you will hear is we have to do what's best for our child or our children, meaning you're already mentally entering into a temporary solution where marriage is a bigger commitment than having a child, because relationships come and go, but you're always going to be there for your children, right? However, there is one slight issue. Statistically, children who grow up in a healthy two-parent household have a better chance of being successful than any other arrangement. Now, that doesn't mean there aren't exceptions to the rule, because I'm one of them, having been raised by a single-parent father. But since men lie, women lie, and numbers don't, the odds are not in favor of the majority of single-parent households, especially if they're in poverty. So what's the solution? Because you know we do a lot of talking and very little action. My suggestion would be for adults who are currently childless, whether they're in a relationship or not, to aim for what's statistically better for children to put the odds in their favor. Doesn't sound too difficult, right? Right? But remember, like I mentioned earlier, it's hard to hold a higher standard if someone you love and care about falls beneath said standard, especially if it's a standard that doesn't mean that their life is over, that the world is coming to an end, but continues to add to the problem at hand. But you let me know, do we raise the bar or just accept the fact that grown folks are gonna do whatever it is they want to do? If it's the latter, then this conversation is nothing more than sharing opinions online of what and how we feel about something that is the reality of our community. Maybe there's another option I'm not aware of. Maybe a whole entire generation will have to hit the reset button by less dating and barely having kids. Because I'm already doing what I can to help with accountability by first making sure my house is in order. But that's it. That's all I have for this video. Like I said, this was actually birthed from the whole men in suits conversation that happened back in 2023. They're like, what do they actually do for the community? And then the whole accountability thing came about. But then you had the random man in Atlanta and then all these other baby mama and baby daddy stories. And I know they're in all communities, but like I said, I'm not in those other communities, so I don't know what they call those folks or what they have going on other than deadbeats. But in this community in particular, we sensationalize it, monetize, having conversations about it, but then it keeps happening. So on one end, I'm thinking it ain't really that big of a problem if we lean more towards saying that people are grown and they can do whatever it is they want to do. So it doesn't matter if you get mad that DDG got Haley Bailey, they got a kid together, or most recently, as the recording this video, Sky Jackson has apparently got knocked up by, you know, a Pookie, or as I mentioned, a Walmart Tavius. And no, I did not come up with that name. You know, any other celebrities and people you know having these kids out of wedlock. For us, it's a part of the culture. So even though we say it bothers us or how could this happen, at the end of the day, it shows us that no matter what level of degrees and success and all these other materialistic things that you have or you've acquired, it still doesn't stop your decision making. Now, there are people out there who are responsible. They're taking care of their bodies. They're making sure that if they are out here doing is what they do, that they're protecting themselves. So I'm not saying that the majority are the problem, because there's a subset of people who just continues to do this. The point I'm trying to make is, if you got irresponsible men running around getting multiple women pregnant, and these women are aware that these men have children, I mean, then what are we really arguing about? What are you really upset about if we're not going to condemn these people? Because we're all judging them. But that's a different video for a different time. There's a difference between judgment and condemnation. We're not condemning these actions. We're just judging and saying that, hey, it makes me upset, but not enough that I'm gonna act on it and try to do something about it, to where we try to educate each other enough or do something to be able to just say like, hey, this needs to stop. That's why I'm like, it's gonna take a generation to shift it. But where is the incentive to show them the benefit of shifting this? Because even the only reason why I'm making this video, and if you stuck this far, I appreciate you. I'm making such a big deal about it because I have to interact with people who both got healing and refuse to get healing, that are the product of these situations. I mean, even like I said, I was a product of it, but I did the necessary things to put in the work to make myself a better person. So then I can marry a woman who also has the same mindset of peace and doing what's best for the children. So then our children can benefit and flourish. That yeah, we're not perfect people or perfect parents, but we give our children and each other a better shot at succeeding and living this life and loving each other than those who are just online, just airing their grievances and finding other people who feel the same way without finding any actual solutions or applying anything. We have so many people out here that offers great information on what to avoid, but not what to apply. But that's it. So as always, be wise. And until I see you all next time, have a great day.